Hello everyone, it's Marika from Me and Minimi Crafting, and thank you for joining me for this coloring tutorial. Today I'm so thrilled and have the honor of being a guest over at Maria's blog. She is super sweet and talented, so please head over to her blog and leave her some love. I have a link to her blog in the description below. She has started this fun feature where she invites a crafter to remake one of her own cards with a twist. I was asked to remake one of my own cards. This sounded so much fun that of course I said yes. While making the card, I noticed how hard it actually was. I chose to case one of my watercolored cards and changed the stamp but kept the layout. I also wanted to color the image more detailed way, so I changed watercolors to Copic markers and colored pencils. Oh, one more thing. If you'd like to know more about me, Maria has this fun quiz over her blog. Please check that out as well. I guess I could say that I'm no line coloring today, so I started by stamping my flower and leaf images with light inks. I used Altenew crisp inks, but any light inks will do. Just keep the ink colors really light that they will not show through. Then I lay down my base layer with Copic markers, and as you can see, I am being very loose today with my Copics. These colors are also new to me, so I may have chosen better and more suitable colors if I had redone this card, but at the end I am pretty happy with the result. If you're interested on the exact colors I used, you can find them on my blog and the link is listed in the description below. I loosely lay down my base layer. I add my base shadows with Copics and I also start to sketch in the base shadows. This is mainly just for myself to try out how to shade the image with colored pencils later. I used 2 shades of light blue, and for my highlighted area I used this very light yellow. I skipped most of the Copic coloring part on this image because I really think the pencil work is more important and I didn't want this tutorial to be too long. Now I'm about done with the base layer and we can proceed to pencil coloring. Now I start to add shadows and details with pencils. And what is new today and different from my previous colorings, I added them with gray pencils. I've normally done that with the same color as the flower is. I used my Faber-Casstell polychrome pencils and I blend them using a lighter pencil. Since I used very cool colors for my base, I use a cool gray family for shading as well. I use really light hand while making my pencil strokes, so when I add the light grays, the base layer can be seen through and it just adds a little shadow, so it gives an illusion of veins on the petal. Or at least I would like to think that way. To make a flower or whatever image that you are coloring to be in focus and give it dimension, you want to pay attention to your values. And saying that, I mean you want to make your darkest hues very dark and the lightest very light. I start with kinda light hand, and as I do my shadows, I darken up the parts that are the darkest. At this point I use very light hand, but later when I'm adding more darker shadows, I start to add more pressure. I'll leave you with the coloring now and I'll be back when I'm finished with the image. And we'll put together the rest of the card. Hello again. Now I'm pretty much finished with the coloring. I'm sometimes asked how long it takes to color an image like this, and the answer is that the time varies quite a lot. If I'm coloring a familiar image, the coloring takes less time, but when I'm coloring a new image like this, it takes more because I need to think where the shadows, veins, and the additional folds on the petals may be. This particular image, or these two images here, took about 2 hours to color. I know it is a lot of time, but I think I learned something by doing it, so it was totally worthwhile. I thought this image needed more contrast, so I took a really dark blue and added the little tiny lines to the parts that I think that have the most shadows. Then I took my craft knife and cut along the pencil line to create a window. I also cut the flowers and leaves with the craft knife and left a tiny white border to give contrast. I also trimmed the edges a bit and let some part of my images to hang off from the white panel. Then I adhered a sheet of this handmade silk paper to be seen through from my circular window, and behind my white panel I adhered a piece of grey cardstock. Hopefully you enjoyed and found this helpful. If you did so, I would be more than pleased if you subscribe to my channel and join in with me on another coloring tutorial. Thank you so much for your time and interest. See you soon. Bye!